reasons. To Sandy, Craig, and Patrick, who worked a 60-hour week, a well-deserved business lunch. For David and Beverly, who finished their living room, a show of seasonings. And for Ted, with his game-winning shot, super flying shrimp. There's always a reason to go to Benihana.
Come in and join the celebration with our 35th anniversary specials.
What's on your list today?
While Kelly Lee Simoneau is busy shopping, Signa Palmer, her Fred Meyer pharmacist, is taking care to fill her son Jordan's prescription, checking for possible interactions, verifying the dosage with his doctor, so that when Kelly's done shopping, Jordan's prescription will be there waiting.
What's on your list today? You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
Tanya Harding, Rena Merrill, and Kennedy Wedding on ET.
A new front opens in the federal budget battle. A presidential veto sets up yet another showdown with congressional Republicans. Hurricane Irene brings a new flood danger to North Carolina as a new hurricane threat forms in the Atlantic. There's a growing debate over whether a popular weight loss diet is safe and effective. And Eye on America, crime victims who wind up paying to keep killers on death row.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening. Dan is off tonight. I'm Bob Schieffer. President Clinton fired the latest shot today in the federal budget showdown with Republicans in Congress. He vetoed the $12.5 billion foreign aid bill. The veto is part of the overall budget stalemate that now has the whole government running on a stopgap spending measure that is soon to run out. Our chief White House correspondent, John Roberts, has our report. John?
Bob, with the specter of another possible government shutdown looming, the president will meet here tomorrow with leaders of Congress in an attempt to work out their differences over the budget. No one wants to see a repeat of 1995's Christmas-time shutdown, and neither side wants to be the Grinch that steals the Social Security surplus. Even as they prepare to sit down together, each side was attempting to blame the other for jeopardizing Social Security.
They're into spending the Social Security surplus, and everyone but them, everybody else has acknowledged it.
The president now agrees with us that we ought not to touch Social Security.
At stake is the huge pot of money Social Security takes in but doesn't spend. Presidents going back to Franklin Roosevelt have used it to make up for spending shortfalls. Next year, the surplus is estimated to be $137 billion. But Mr. Clinton and Congress have pledged not to touch it. Republicans are calling for across-the-board budget cuts, which the president says will gut his spending priorities. He has already vetoed 2 bills that fell short of his mark and has threatened to send back more.
I know they're not going to do 100% of what I want them to do, but there are certain bottom lines for the American people that I have to fight for.
While Republicans have agreed to meet with the president on his turf tomorrow, they are wary of walking into a budget trap and have laid down some ground rules.
But what we're not willing to do is to discuss either raiding Social Security or raising taxes.
The president has appealed to Republicans to put aside politics for the sake of the American people, but in a battle that centers around an issue so crucial to aging baby boomers, and on the eve of an election year, the budget and the process is all about politics. Bob?
Thank you, John. On the CBS Market Watch, after their biggest weekly point loss ever, the Dow blue chips rallied today, closing up 96 points, but the tech-heavy NASDAQ went the other way, down 42 points. The market gets its next read on inflation tomorrow with release of the Consumer Price Index. Today, an Energy Department survey found the price of gasoline fell a penny in the past week to a nationwide average tonight of $1.24 a gallon. On the CBS Weather Watch tonight, it may be late in the season, but there's no shortage of hurricanes. Tropical storm Jose formed today. It's expected to reach hurricane strength within 48 hours. A hurricane watch is already up for Barbados. Other Caribbean islands were expected to follow suit. Heading back out into the Atlantic today is Hurricane Irene, but not before it dumped another foot of rain on parts of North Carolina. It's the third hurricane to hit the state in 2 months. Jeffrey Kaufman has our report on that.
This waterlogged community is still reeling from the 22 inches of rain Hurricane Floyd dumped here a month ago. What it did not need was another 6 inches that Hurricane Irene brought this weekend.
I'm the FEMA lady.
While the task of cleaning up Floyd's devastation continues, Clyde Harrison Jr. spent a sleepless weekend wondering whether his house would be submerged yet again in the waters of the Tar River, a river he no longer trusts.
You asked me what I think about the river. I don't think they're going to keep the water out of here. I think it's going to come again.
They couldn't keep the water out a month ago when Floyd's flood submerged most of this town, more than 2,000 homes. Right now, the Tar is safely below flood stage. It's expected to rise another 15 feet before it crests Friday. But even at that, it'll be 14 feet below where it was after Hurricane Floyd.
No, we don't need this, but we're dealing with it.
And you're confident that this time you're going to be okay, that when it crests on Friday, it's not going to do any damage?
Very confident.
This temporary town was set up by FEMA as a refuge for local victims of Floyd. Yet over the weekend, for the second time in a month, these people were ordered to leave their homes and sent to shelters as authorities worried that hurricane winds and rains would submerge them again.
You sit there and you look at television about fugitives, how they're on the run. That's how we feel. We feel just like we're on fugitives, but we're running from water.
Clyde Harrison Jr. has one eye on the river and the other on the future. FEMA hasn't told him whether he'll get his flood relief, but his mind is already made up.
I just don't want to live there anymore. I don't want to see the place. I haven't been inside. This is my first time back there.
As the Tar River rises again, so too does the anxiety. Jeffrey Kaufman, CBS News, Tarboro, North Carolina.
In Northern California, a huge 26,000-acre wildfire was mostly contained today after it engulfed dozens of homes and forced thousands of people to evacuate. Firefighters got the upper hand when high winds finally died down. It now turns out that the widely felt earthquake that rocked California in the southwest over the weekend was even stronger than believed. And the government's quake experts began turning their attention today to a fault line they paid little attention to until now. Bill Whitaker has that story.
The upgrade to magnitude 7.1 means there was about 25% more shaking going on than originally thought. Quake watchers also thought this Amtrak derailment with a few minor injuries was the worst of it. It wasn't the half of it. The big news, this major quake happened on a minor fault, previously considered inactive, far off in the desert, bothering no one.
And basically nobody's gone back to look at it because it's only rattlesnakes that really care.
Not anymore. This obscure fault released more power than a conventional nuclear blast, the fourth largest quake in Southern California this century, ripping a 25-mile gash in the desert floor.
And we saw displacements on that fault of up to 12 feet. So you can see here that this road used to go straight across the fault.
The science of quakes is imprecise, but this one, following the 94 Northridge quake, has scientists looking again at their data. The Northridge fault was unknown until it shuddered to life with a 6.7 quake, killing 57 people, doing $40 billion worth of damage.
There are an awful lot of faults. What we try to do is sort of like triage. We try to identify those that have the highest hazard and deal with them.
They had a new tool this time, the internet, which took in information on the location and power of the quake from ground sensors and sent it out instantaneously, information which used to take hours, even days.
We're able to see much more clearly what the ground motions are created by this type of big event.
It's still helping track all the aftershocks and may one day help save lives. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, a national group of dietitians warns against a popular weight loss diet. Eye on America looks at what happens when small-town taxpayers get stuck with a big bill for defending a killer. And the good, the bad, and the ugly at the old ball game.
Fortunately, there's Nasonex nasal spray, an effective nasal allergy prescription medicine taken once a day to relieve nasal allergy symptoms, indoors and out. Now that's wonderful. The most common side effects were headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
Natural, real. I want to look the way I feel. I'm a Grecian man. Want it quick, hassle-free. A look that really looks like me. Grecian man. A Grecian man, no time for gray. A new generation, a whole new day.
Oh, yeah, those first ice boats had a lot of speed, but not a whole lot of control. Yeah, with the blades set nearly couldn't steer around the ice fishing holes. Oh, geez, learned the hard way. Wider is better.
With its speed-sensitive steering technology, the White Track Grand Prix gives you precise cornering and control, even at a good clip.
You betcha. Breader air, better.
Wider is better. The White Track Grand Prix by Pontiac.
A popular diet that lets you eat lots of meat and eggs and still lose a lot of weight came under attack today from a leading group of diet experts. They say that the diet can harm your health and that the weight loss won't stick. The inventor of the diet says the food fight has more to do with politics than nutrition. Elizabeth Callahan reports.
With more than half of all Americans now overweight, the call to shed pounds has taken on a new urgency and has sparked a bitter battle over the best way to diet.
Meat, fish, fowl, eggs, cheese, oils, and fats. And it's that simple.
Millions of people have turned to Dr. Robert Atkins for help. His hugely popular book preaches a low-carbohydrate, high-fat menu.
If you cut out carbohydrates, you automatically burn your stored fat. That's the basic principle that's been known for about 35 years.
It worked for Dr. Kevin Cunningham, who lost 70 pounds.
Clearly it's counterintuitive to what we as doctors preach and what people in general know.
Even the Pentagon has asked Dr. Atkins to come speak in an effort to get some generals to slim down. But Atkins' skyrocketing popularity has caused for serious concern among members of the American Dietetic Association, who this week are sounding an alarm at their annual meeting. Critics here say eating too much protein and fat can lead to kidney problems, high cholesterol, and loss of bone density.
A high-protein diet is an inefficient way for the body to use fuel. The body prefers carbohydrate as its main fuel source.
Dr. Atkins and the ADA are at complete odds. In fact, Atkins blasted the organization in his latest newsletter and has gone so far as to say they are killing people by advocating a high-carbohydrate diet.
They're in favor of grains. You know that. That's one of the things they're pushing. They are bread pushers.
It's a case of conventional wisdom versus what's popular, a confusing choice to make for American dieters who are desperate for anything that will work. Elizabeth Callahan, CBS News, New York.
The National Science Foundation confirmed today that Dr. Jerry Nielsen was rescued from the research station at the South Pole over the weekend and is now back in the United States. A cargo plane equipped with Teflon skis for landing retrieved her in temperatures 60 degrees below zero. But officials refused to disclose Nielsen's current medical condition or her exact whereabouts tonight. She discovered a lump in her breast during her assignment at the South Pole. Using a satellite mapper in space, NASA today released a remarkable 3D view of the Antarctic, including the track of the rescue plane's route from the Antarctic base at McMurdo all the way to the South Pole Research Station, where Dr. Nielsen was stranded at the coldest place on Earth. The hottest place on Earth tonight is Mount Etna in Sicily. The biggest volcano in Europe has been gushing a river of molten lava at the peak of an active phase that's been going on most of this year. It's lighting up the night sky, but there is no threat to populated areas. Coming up next, Eye on America looks at the price of justice and who gets the bill.
There are those among us with very simple tastes. They only want the best. And for them, there's Fancy Feast gourmet cat food. Exceptionally moist and delicious. Fancy Feast. Good taste is easy to recognize.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
latest innovation springs from a very old idea. The heat cleans better. And so, Bissell introduces the first and only upright deep cleaner with an onboard heater. A common sense idea to make cleaning even cleaner. The new Power Steamer Pro Heat Plus from Bissell. Life's messy. Clean it up.
50 is beautiful, and to stay that way, Pro Vital Revitalizing Cleanser with gentle microbeads and Olay moisture. It leaves skin smooth and resilient. Pro Vital from Olay, proven to be why women over 50 look so wonderful. I was ashamed of it.
For millions,
I'd actually have to hide.
gas can be a serious problem, but Phazyme starts to work on contact. To relieve gas, Phazyme Fast.
Phazyme, it works just like that.
Relieve gas, Phazyme Fast.
You can't imagine the tension, Dad. Jamie was our last hope.
Phone calls like this are just too important to rush.
Their picture was huge.
That's why we always dial 10-10-321.
And then Jamie really smacked it.
With 10-10-321, our calls over 10 minutes are half off. That's just 8 cents a minute, day or night. And at 8 cents a minute, we can talk as long as we want.
Grandpa wants to talk to you. I won the game.
Talk as long as you want with 10-10-321.
New crime figures show that crime is down again, the murder rate the lowest since the 1960s. And a study today finds that punishment is a major reason. It says the nation is safer largely because the chances of getting caught and the time spent in prison have both gone up in recent years. Tonight's Eye on America looks at some of the costs of getting tough on crime. Richard Schlesinger reports now from a place where the taxpayers are victims too.
It's hard to imagine the brutality of what happened here. 4 members of the Parker family, Carl, Bobby Joe, Gregory, and Charlotte Joe, shot down, tied up, and set on fire along with their house in Quitman County, Mississippi. That was 9 years ago. 2 men were convicted and sentenced to death for the murders. They are still alive. They keep appealing. Citizens of Quitman County keep paying.
We had to raise taxes to pay for this trial.
Butch Sipper runs Quitman County, where they are learning costly lessons about the price of justice.
We had to raise taxes over a 3-year period, 2 to 3% a year on all property.
Sipper had no choice. Even though Quitman County, deep in cotton country, is one of the nation's poorest, it was forced to spend $250,000 on this case to defend the murderers. Mississippi is one of a handful of states that requires each county, rich or poor, to pay to defend criminals in death penalty cases who can't afford a lawyer. The bill can be staggering.
What worries me now is that these men still have appeals ahead of them that the county must pay, and I may have to raise taxes again. That's adding salt to the wound.
Scott Parker and his brother Dean are the only surviving sons of the Parker family.
And all I hear is appeal this, raise this, raise that. But that's not doing no good. These guys still down there eating 3 meals a day.
Scott still lives in Quitman County and pays taxes there.
Scott Parker had to pay taxes to pay for the defense of the 2 men convicted of murdering his family.
The man who killed Judy McAlpin's father never made it to death row. Jake Shivers was killed by his handyman, Milton Watts, at a hunting camp in another poor Mississippi county.
Milton Watts shot Shivers 10 times. He cut the phone lines, stole Shivers' wallet and his truck, and ran. Prosecutors knew they could ask for the death penalty, and the victim's family demanded it.
If your father had been shot 10 times, wouldn't you want it?
But when Judy McAlpin asked prosecutor Gil Martin to press for the death penalty, he told her he wouldn't.
How much of a factor was the cost? It was part of the principal reason. You hate to put a price on it, but sometimes you have to.
His life was worth more than money.
Judy McAlpin and her husband Ernest would not take no for an answer. They made a bizarre offer. If the county could not afford it, they would help pay for the trial, but only if the DA would ask for the death penalty.
Were you serious about that offer?
Yes, we were serious. If it was your dad, would you be serious?
You were prepared to sell everything you owned?
We would have had to do that.
Their offer was rejected. Milton Watts was convicted, but sentenced to life, which means he's up for parole in about 15 years. It was cheaper that way.
how much justice can we afford? You know, is there a price on justice?
Whitman County hasn't recovered from the cost of sending 2 men to death row. Taxpayers could still be forced to pay more. Meanwhile, the county ambulance is on its last legs and there's no money to buy a new one. And still more accused killers are awaiting trial. They could benefit from the law of economics, because right now the supply of money does not equal the demand for death. In Marks, Mississippi, I'm Richard Schlesinger for Eye on America.
Federal health officials said today they will go ahead and issue controversial new rules for organ transplants. The new rules give priority to people who need the transplants the most, no matter where in the nation they live. Opponents say that donated organs should be allocated locally first, then nationally if there are no takers closer by. Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, a new Clinton nominee caught up in an old Senate feud.
I'll see you this afternoon.
Suffering from nasal congestion? A new kind of relief is about to be revealed, because now there's a medicated nasal spray without one single preservative. Introducing Natrovent, the only preservative-free nasal spray, for long-lasting relief in one single spray. Finally, somebody figured it out. New Natrovent. No preservatives, fast relief. Saline mist also available.
Can you believe it? My husband, Nolan Ryan, has arthritis. So his doctor says, stay active and take Advil to make it easier. I take it for my arthritis pain, so we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain. You've dreamed of opening your own place. Now stay healthy and energetic and enjoy it. Give your life a silver lining with Centrum Silver. Its age-essential nutrients may help maintain your immunity and help keep your heart healthy. Give your life a silver lining with Centrum Silver.
I'm not really close to Anna Kournikova. First of all, there's that whole language thing.
A PE ratio is price divided by earnings. Earnings per share is a company's net income minus preferred dividends.
It's like she's speaking a different language.
Can anyone say asset allocation? Mid cap, small cap.
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm,
growth fund,
we created a smarter kind of investor.
Besides, some of the other players are kind of jealous of her, you know, portfolio.
Our latest innovation springs from a very old idea that heat cleans better. And so, Bissell introduces the only upright deep cleaner with an onboard heater. The new Power Steamer Pro Heat Plus from Bissell. Life's messy. Clean it up.
Does tossing one of these into your tank kill germs? Well, here's one way to be sure. Lysol Continuous Action Automatic Toilet Cleaner. It not only cleans, it kills germs. No other automatic toilet cleaner kills more. You have our word on it.
Pakistan moved to ease tensions with India today, pulling troops back from the border in Kashmir. This came as the Army general who seized power last week appeared for a photo op with his family. He's also promising economic reform, but so far he has ignored pressure from the United States and other nations to set a timetable for returning democracy to Pakistan. Here at home, career prosecutor Robert Ray was sworn in today to complete the job of his retiring boss, independent counsel Kenneth Starr. Ray will finish up the wide-ranging investigations into the President and First Lady and submit the final report. 2 investigations are still open: the case of presidential accuser Kathleen Willey and the White House Travel Office scandal. President Clinton's nomination of Carol Moseley Braun to be ambassador to New Zealand has run into a roadblock on Capitol Hill. Foreign Relations Committee Chairman Jesse Helms today cited what he called ethical lapses by the former Illinois senator and said he will not hold confirmation hearings until the panel receives all the papers it needs. Helms and Moseley Braun have clashed in the past. In 1993, she defeated a Helms amendment that would have renewed the patent on an insignia featuring the Confederate flag.
It is an outrage. It is an insult. It is absolutely unacceptable to me and to millions of Americans, black or white, that we would put the imprimatur of the United States Senate on a symbol of this kind of idea.
The White House suggested today that Helms is trying to settle an old grudge with Moseley Braun by holding up her nomination. Coming up next, a wild and stormy October in the amazing baseball play.
Back to Georgia. Out here, am I supposed to say, slow down, I'm constipated? I don't think so. So I rely on doctor-recommended Metamucil. Works with my body, gently, which is important to a sensitive guy like myself.
Right now at LensCrafters, you can get a complete pair of great-looking glasses for only $99 and your choice of hundreds of the latest styles.
The LensCrafters $99 complete pair sale.
Only $99. You can't afford to miss an offer like this.
Hurry, offer ends soon. Labor of love took on a whole new meaning when Kyle was born. 12 hours of labor.
One of life's most joyful moments can also be one of its most painful. But take comfort, as so many women have, in Tylenol, the pain reliever doctors and hospitals choose most.
Come meet your little brother.
Hello. Tylenol, take comfort in our strength.
Problem?
Doctor said my cholesterol is still too high.
What about diet and exercise?
They didn't do enough.
So?
He suggested adding Lipitor.
Lipitor, the #1 prescribed medication for lowering cholesterol. In clinical studies, Lipitor with diet was proven to lower bad cholesterol 39 to 60%, total cholesterol 29 to 45%, triglycerides 19 to 37%.
He said over 4 million people have started taking Lipitor to lower their cholesterol.
Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver disease or possible liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant.
There'll be blood tests to check for liver problems.
Tell your doctor about muscle pain or weakness, as these may be signs of serious side effects.
You take Lipitor once a day.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist for more information on Lipitor and call 1-888-LIPITOR.
Well, Lipitor did it. My cholesterol's way down.
Lipitor, the lower numbers you're looking for.
A report out today finds that the Honda Accord is the most popular car in America, at least among people who don't like to pay for their cars. According to the insurance industry, the Accord is the most frequently stolen car, followed by the Toyota Camry, the full-size Chevy pickup, the Jeep Cherokee, and the Honda Civic. And finally, the thing about baseball is there have never been two games exactly alike, which brings us to this year's playoffs. Whether you've seen 1,000 games or just a few, my guess is you've never seen anything quite like the stuff we're seeing this year.
A shot into center field.
From the get-go, we've seen mammoth hits and spectacular catches.
Dives and makes a wonderful catch.
The Yankees' Tino Martinez in Game 1 against Boston.
Great effort and a catch.
The Red Sox, Nomar Garcia-Powell.
A line drive caught.
But can he do it twice?
Nomar again.
Sure he can. But this is baseball, so there's always something we don't expect.
Bad throw.
Like Little League errors.
He never even touched the ball.
And some really bad calls by the umps.
You were right there, right on it, and you missed it.
Yes, I did.
In a real low moment, fans got so rowdy after one bad call in Boston last night, play was halted. When it resumed, the Yankees won in spectacular fashion and lead Boston 3-1 in the best-of-7 series for the American League pennant. In the National League playoffs, again last night, New York Met fans were giving it to pitcher John Rocker, the Atlanta Brave they love to hate. Rocker wouldn't have it any other way, of course, and had a word for the fans. It's just as well we couldn't hear it. But it's no wonder everyone was a little edgy. After all, the game had started 6 hours earlier in the sunshine. It finally ended in a driving rainstorm in the bottom of the 15th inning.
A drive to right. Back to Georgia.
When Robin Ventura hit one over the right field fence with a